What is going on? What's up? What is up? A bunch of people in here already. I can see. Go KC Chiefs. I'm watching the game actually right now. It's on the TV. Hello. Sorry, I was a couple minutes. A couple minutes behind. I'm on Clayton time. I'm never early, never on time. I'm always a few minutes late. What's going on? Well, what is going on? Welcome back. Big Smoke Barbecue. Hello. Can't wait. I'm coming beginning of February to get some more barbecue from Big Smoke. It's so good. Sass Fishing Podcast. Hello, Clayton. How's it going? It's going good. Barry Butler Outdoors, just freezing our buttons off here in Alberta. Yeah, it's minus 30 here right now where I am too. Like, so cold. So cold. It's hauling water today too, and it's just like frozen. 100K coming. Yeah, we're like 650, I think, away. Something like that. I'll look real quick. I think it's like 650 away from 100K, which is crazy. What do we got here? It is 328. So 670 to go. Yeah, 670. It's getting there. I'm glad you made the connection with my name. I know who it is. Matter has. You caught some nice fish recently too, didn't you? Dason, hello. We're kind of keeping warm. What are we doing for 100K? I think we'll probably have a live chat no matter like when it is, the time of day, when we're getting close to 100K for like the last like 30 subscribers, maybe 20 subscribers, and just roll until it hits 100K. I don't know if that's going to be too quick. I know it's like sometimes a lot of things will happen when you get close to 100K and you do something like that live. The number will like jump back and forth because everybody that's like subscribed to watching will unsubscribe, and then they'll subscribe and they'll unsubscribe, and it's funny to watch, right? Because the count just kind of jumps around over and over because everybody's trying to be the 100K subscribers. Is there a point where it's too cold for you to fish? I've done the whole minus 35, minus 37 before, and that's just too cold. Like, now I got a bunch of videos, right, that I've already filmed where I'm editing. There was another question there. Any videos coming soon? There'll be a new one dropped to the public tomorrow. I already released it to members only yesterday. Like late last night, I got finished. Where you might have caught a big walleye, and then after that one, there won't be as many walleye videos. There'll be more everything else mixed in. For example, the video coming out on Wednesday then will be lake trout, and then we'll have a stock trout video for rainbows. And then it'll be a walleye / lake trout / pike mixture, and then a pike video, or the last two might be combined, but I got a bunch of videos from the north. I still have a 1v1 to edit too against Adam at some point too. Catch and cook hat on the counter. Do you have any new? I don't have any new CSO hats. Oh, that's not a catch and cook. That's a Ice Fish Manitoba hat on the counter. Cindy, the fridge is open. I don't think she heard me. Hear the fridge beeping. She was in it. Did you hear me? The fridge is open. All good. Are there any pointers for fishing shallow lakes? I think you just have to move quite a bit and be quiet. I think being quiet on shallow lakes is like the biggest thing. Nobody realizes how much noise affects the fish underneath the surface until you start watching them on like underwater cameras or on live imaging. It's insane. Like the slightest like little movements and they'll just like scatter. Like you can literally just stand up from your chair and a fish takes off. So yeah, you have to. That's my biggest tip: is be quiet in shallow water more than anything. Zach the fisherman, minus 50 here in Alberta. My truck doesn't want to go. Oh my goodness. I'm going to get out next week a few times. I'm not going until it gets warm. Thankfully, I have enough editing to do in the next week. I don't have to go fishing. I can just edit. Reagan, hi mom, hi dad, miss you. Love you too, girl. I saw Carter replied here or sent a message too. Well, Carter should be working and Ray should be going to bed so she can get up to go to work. Ray, it's 8:00. It's past your bedtime. Have you ever been featured in an outdoor magazine? Yeah, a couple times. I did some stuff within Fisherman back in the day, and did some articles with them and whatnot. Or just co-writ some articles basically, and there's a couple others. It's been so long since I've done anything magazine since. So, do you get to offer discount codes for various merchants? Catch and Cook, Frostbite. I don't have any discount codes for anything besides Send It Outdoors, where you can use code Clayton or Clayton 15. I think either or. But Finicky Fluor hook setter came in today. You cost me a lot of money over the years. You are welcome. The Finicky Fluor is so good. Actually, I got an email from Stillwater Adventures. I just haven't replied to them yet about doing a giveaway for some Finicky Fluor. So I'm going to actually take them up on that and do a Finicky Fluor giveaway in an upcoming video at some point. Yeah. I'm doing a project on you in school, Clayton. Blake. Well, that's cool. There's a project on me in school. Send me an email if you need anything at all. Lake was North Pole today, -26 without wind. Oh, cold. Have you went ice camping yet? I did. I even put a video out already. I had a 3-day video from ice camping this year. Cody, hey Clayton, I've been looking into booking a trip to Baker's Narrows. What's the best time of the year to go for lake trips for the ice? Honestly, it can all be good. Like January, February, March, April, it can all be good. I think the biggest thing to remember is when you get later into the year, like March, April, you have a lot more daylight. So sometimes you have to put in those longer days, right? So because your prime windows are a lot farther apart than say in January. Yes, it's colder, but you don't have like your sun's rising at 9 and setting at 4:30. So your bite windows are closer together. Whereas in March, all of a sudden the sun's coming up at 7:30 and it's setting at 6:30. Well, you have to be out there a lot longer. So I think that's the biggest thing when it comes to like fishing up north to keep in mind is that if you want to like go hard and look for a big one, sometimes you need to be put in a little bit more time. And the guides up there will stay out with you for like so many hours, right? Like 9-10 hours, but you can stay out after even they're done for the day. So where can I find your email? If you go to the About Us page on, I think on YouTube, but it's basically just my name, ClaytonSchickOutdoors@gmail.com. Send me an email, Blake. So awesome. Your family all here, Cindy and kids. Yeah, they're on the chat. So funny. I gotta have a shot for Cody too. Here, gotta have a shot for Cody. We're gonna have some butterscotch from Dennis, homebrew, and Carter, 100K party CSO. We're gonna have to do something. Hopefully, it's on your days off. Can you go? I saw another one. Can you go crappie fishing on my next Lake Winnipeg trip? I'm gonna try to do a little bit of crappie fishing on either the back end of it or the front end of it, one or the other. I've never caught a crappie yet. I have to. Like, it's one of my goals this year yet. Cheers, Cody, and to everybody else here. Ooh, that butterscotch is, oh boy. Have you ever had a big bonfire on the ice? Is it safe? I want to try. I haven't had a big bonfire on the ice. It would be safe. You're not going to like melt through like 24 inches of ice or anything like that. You don't have to worry about that at all. But keep in mind, the biggest thing is like if you do a bonfire on the ice to like really clean up your mess, right? Like all the sticks that are left and whatnot, like you don't want somebody to crush them with a truck or a snowmobile or something like that. So really, clean up your mess after the bonfire, I think is the biggest thing I could say with that. But you won't melt through it. What's your favorite meal while camping on the ice? I like to cook up fish, probably is my number one thing, like fresh fish, I think would be my number one thing than anything, just because it's like you just caught the fish, you just cleaned it, now you're cooking it up, it's super fresh, and so many different ways to cook it that I like. And then my second favorite way now would definitely be the big smoke barbecue stuff, the boil bags. I haven't done any smokies on the grill yet this year, like on the buddy heater, which is great. I haven't done any of like the REMs, the ready-made meals. I haven't done any of those. I've mostly done just the either cook my own fish or the boil bags this year. Have been so good. And then I always like soup too. Soup on the ice is one of my favorites. I've watched the Game of Inches, all 5 episodes now, like 20 times. I love it. Well, that's awesome. Game of Inches was a lot of fun. I still like to put all those videos together at some point. Have you thought about coming to Ontario to fish Nipissing or Simcoe? I haven't thought of anything for the winter. I actually have fished Nipissing twice now. Aaron, myself, and Jay went on a muskie trip years and years ago, and then Aaron and myself went back and fished the Cache Bay Pike tournament one year as well in the springtime. So I fished Nipissing twice. Clayton, where do you get those boil bags? I've been searching from Big Smoke Barbecue. If you go to Big Smoke Barbecue on Instagram, if you're in Canada, it looks like he has shipping options now available there. Send him an email. Big Smoke Barbecue. What's the best frostbite rod for a jawjacker? Probably the 39 drench, 39 medium light drench, I think, is one of the better rods for the jawjacker, in my opinion. This Big Smoke ship. They do ship in Canada, it sounds like, or they're working on options. I don't know the full thing. I just saw a post he made. I haven't talked about any details about it, but they might possibly be doing some shipping stuff in Canada. Boil bags from Big Smoke. Yeah, Steinbach, Manitoba. I tried Walleye Yummy. Yeah, the Walleye Yummy is a really good recipe. It's one of my favorites. It's a good thing we just had supper not too long ago where I'd be like, oh, I just want to cook some fresh fish right now. What heater to use for ice camping? I'm going to the 25th to 28th. I've used both the Big Buddy heater and I've used the Heat Hog. I'm going to mention this in a video coming up here in a little bit, but I've been having problems with my Heat Hog heater. I know there's people that were like asking a lot about it, and I just said, like, I can't give you an honest opinion yet on it. I'm having some problems with it. The Heat Hog just seems to like go out. Like, it'll just be working fine, and it'll just shut off. And then sometimes it's tougher to get starting. Sometimes it starts right away and goes for another 5-6 hours, but it just shuts off for like no reason at all. So the Big Buddy still has been the most reliable heater that I've used for a propane heater. And that's not saying much yet, because obviously the Big Buddy has problems at times too. But I don't know, all those heaters, right? Like, nothing has been, and I know Heat Hog probably be mad at me for saying that because they did send me the heater, but I'm like, I'm going to give everybody an honest feedback on it, right? Like, I'm not sold on it yet. I think they're going to be shipping me another one though and taking this one back so they can figure out what was going on with it. And I'll respect that. If they're going to actually like back their product up instead of just like leave me hanging on that heater, I have more respect for that, right? Because any company has a product, you're going to have some defects, things are going to go wrong. But if they actually want to put the work in to figure out what's going on instead of just saying, oh, what are you going to do? You just have to buy another heater. Those are the ones I'll never support. So as long as our customer service is good, stuff obviously goes wrong all the time. And in my industry, like, we beat the piss out of our gear all the time. So we can't get our diesel heater to work, so we don't know what to do. But I got the Big Buddy. Yeah, the Big Buddy. Make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector and keep your vents open. That's the biggest thing I can say. Take a carbon monoxide detector. I haven't tried the diesel heater yet. No, I would like to at some point, but it's so loud for the videos though, right? Like, I don't want that noise in the videos. I want to have good audio. I don't want that noise. Do you have an inline filter? There was an inline filter on the one hose I was using. The other hose there wasn't. Excuse me. Why did you switch to Eskimo? Just better opportunities for my channel and where I'm going in the future, more than anything. And I spent some time with the gear before I made the jump over and was very happy with it. So far, no regrets at all with any of the Eskimo stuff. Again, customer service of the Eskimo is hands down some of the best customer service out there. The Artisan customer service is so good. Jesse Nelson, here's some gas money to come fish in Alberta. Well, $5 might get me out of my driveway, but you know what $5 will get us? Will get us a shot of butterscotch. 100K giveaway merchandise signed by CSO. That's not a bad idea at all. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for the whole 100K thing. I've got a few ideas, just not 100% sure yet. 100K Jello shots. There will be definitely 100K Jello shots. Cheers. Sydney says, woohoo. You might want to check the lines on your heater for oil. Like, what kind of oil? I guess would be the biggest thing. Did you hit 100K? Not yet. We're 730 away, I believe, or 670 away. I don't know, something like that. 670 away. Clayton, have you fallen through the ice? many years ago. Carter, it's a 2-ounce shot. You just get back to work. Why is Carter on here? You should be working. Many years ago, I fell in but only waist deep, and even then, it's like a shock. So I've just always I'm very very cautious. Right, the biggest thing to not or to ice safety is just not falling in the lake. Right, take all your precautions ahead of time. Spud bar. If you're using a spud bar properly, you should not fall through the lake. Your arms will be sore by the end of the day. But did Tigger get his head out of the Dairy Queen box yet? Yes, he did, Dason. The video is hilarious. Hilarious. I'll have to post that video on my channel sometime because Cindy just put it on her Instagram. But we had come back from vacation. There was a Dairy Queen box, one of those ones that get folded over. And there was some onion rings sitting in it, and Tigger decided to put his head in there and see what was happening, see what was going on in there. It was like one of those Chinese puzzle traps where if you put your fingers in, you can't pull them out. His head was in this box and it's shaking around. It was honestly priceless. It was so good. Tips for pike fishing open water. Watch my open water pike videos. That's the biggest tip I can give you. There's so many different things you can do. I'm not going to cover too much on it right now. One of the biggest tips I'd say though is just be willing to cover water. Pike happen to be roamers a lot of times, and just pound shoreline, pound a bunch of water, as in cast. Covering water for pike is probably one of the biggest things for sure. Some cheap propane cords leach oils, but they can plug up your heaters. Yeah, and this cord was almost brand new, and it's from Heat Hog too. So I understand what you're saying by that, but it's definitely possible. What battery do you run with your ArcLab shuttle? I've been running a 40. Well, okay, in the shuttle, I don't actually have a battery. I hook up to a Dakota battery that's outside of my shuttle because I'm always filming and whatnot, and I need the battery for more things than just in the shuttle. And if I'm ever going long trips and I don't want to charge the unit, I don't have to. I can just do a battery swap on the outside. I run a 46 amp hour battery. With anything that's 10 inches or smaller for a screen, you could get away with a 23 amp hour, but anything bigger, you need something bigger for sure. My biggest pike ever is 47 inches open water. Clayton, you're a beauty. Well, thank you, Spencer. Cheers to you. You're a beauty. Any ice rods not made in China? Tuned up custom rods, I think, might be one. I believe they're made in-house, but all the parts are still from China, right? They're just assembling them there. So in the end, nothing is not made from China these days, it feels like. I think the biggest thing is the companies where they go wrong is they'll get their rods made from China and they'll go through a factory or a shipping place, and they won't have any quality control check before they go out. So a lot of the, you look at an Elliott rod or a Frostbite Vanta Black, and the rod is mint. You could never tell it's made in China. It doesn't look like it at all. It looks like a custom rod, but everything these days is made in China for rods, everything. I think Tuned Up is probably one of the only ones that I know of for sure. Do you use Element Custom Baits out on Winnipeg? I have not used any of their stuff for a few years, and I don't know if I'll use anything this year or not. When I go. I haven't fished Lake Winnipeg yet this year, though. How do the tank walleye shirts fit? I'm using an XL, but I like a loose. Should I get a 2? Yeah, I'll probably go with the 2XL. They don't fit small, but they fit pretty much like a normal shirt. They don't fit tight though. I think a 2XL though. You being from Yorkton, if you order a shirt and it's the wrong size, we'll swap it with you. That's not a problem at all, Matt. We'll take care of it. My favorite bait. Oh man, there's too many baits to choose from. Jig and Mena. One time I was fishing at Nunavik and someone caught a 55-inch pike. Really? A 55-inch pike? That's pretty big. Do you know when you're fishing Last Mountain next? I have no idea. No idea. Love your videos. Keep them rolling, Clayton. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Couldn't believe you got that brisket back after dropping it down the hole. Right? The brisket fishing was some of the best brisket fishing I've ever done. That thing, when I got it hooked, yeah, it fought like a champ, but we got her in. Have you tried the quick draw auto charting on your Garmin? I have not yet. I'd like to, though, at some point. you guys discuss making some merchandise, we'd love to wrap some. We gonna have more merch. Probably we'll release it. I'm guessing in the next, like this coming up fall into the winter, once we everything gets more settled and whatnot. But we'll do some more at some point. Question: if someone sent you rods to test for your opinion, is that something you would do? Uh I don't have a lot of time for that kind of stuff these days. Like any of the rods that I'm using for my videos, like are companies that I'm working with. So, and it's not like I really have a lot of free time to fish without, like I'm always filming. So it's really hard for me to do any testing on that sense. So I have had stuff like that where people want to send me stuff and I just have to like decline and say send them to somebody that can actually make use of it and will put some time into it and give you a good honest feedback. I have so much on the go with testing other rods, right, with companies that I'm working with, and I have to give them that time before I can do anything else. As much as I'd love to help everybody out, it's so hard. Do you like ice fishing or summer fishing more? I'd rather be in a boat for sure, but I do like ice fishing. I like ice fishing when it's like it's mild out, it's not windy, in that sense. I don't enjoy ice fishing when it's minus 30. Like I don't know anybody that would. Maybe if I had a wheelhouse where you can jump into the wheelhouse, get the heat going and hang out, which is something we'll do in the future at some point. But yeah, I don't like setting things up and cameras up when it's minus 30. It's not a lot of fun. When are you going to Cree? Maybe I've been to Cree already. Have you tried dipping your steak in ranch? No, no. I like if you have a good steak, you shouldn't have to dip it in anything at all. Nothing. Like a good steak, you should be able to just eat just like that with no like barbecue sauce or anything like that at all. Do a whitefish video this year. It's very possible yet. No way ice fishing is king. I do like ice fishing, but I'd rather be in my boat, I'm pretty sure. I've had folk come out, use my auger, use my hut as a windbreak. I snapped, took my auger, and moved 200 yards. Yeah, people that use your shacks for windbreaks, that's just, that's annoying. That is so annoying. I've been using the St. Croix rods, but I'm interested in the frostbite. I use the St. Croix ice rods for a while. I do prefer the frostbite ones over um, the St. Croix ice rods that I use. That's way back when I was using their rods. I haven't used any of their newer stuff at all. What charger do you use for your lithium batteries? I use the Dakota 2 amp charger and a 10 amp charger. They have one for lithiums. Clay needs an ice castle fund. Nah, I don't need people to give me money for an ice castle. We'll just the bank can buy one day. How was your hard earned root beer? It was good. Lots of people haven't seen that video yet. Everybody else will get to see that video tomorrow. I don't have a super chat for you, but I just bought a tank walleye shirt and a CSO decal. Well, I appreciate that very much. Well, we'll have a drink for that one. That counts for sure. Cindy will put that order in and it'll go out on Monday. J2 for us. Let's do a shot together. Well, Jay, we're doing a shot right now here because Matter bought a t-shirt and a decal. So shots. Whew. Clayton, have you ever went with viewers? I haven't done anything like for a viewer fishing trip yet. It's gonna happen though for sure. I'm doing Jay Siemens along with you on my project. That's awesome, Blake. Hopefully, I can get if you need some information from J2. Hopefully, I can get some information from him as well for you. What's the one thing you want but don't have yet? Good question. A dog, a puppy. I want a puppy again. Yeah, Cindy answered it for me. A puppy. Everything other than that, I have everything I need. Yeah, a puppy. We'll have to talk with Tigger. We can get a puppy. What device can I use to record Mega Live? Well, the only way you can record your Mega Lives is if you have an Apex screen, if from Humminbird, and you would need an Aver media recorder or some kind of media recorder device. Which line do you set up to use for Lakers? I use 30-pound Suffix 832 ice braid, and then I use a 20-pound fluorocarbon leader, and I use an FG knot, and I tie like 10 to 20 feet of fluorocarbon line on there. That way I don't have to retie for the whole trip. What kind of doggy? I'd like to get another chocolate lab again. I had a chocolate lab that I trained for waterfowl hunting on my own when I used to guide waterfowl and whatnot. And I could definitely do another chocolate lab or a golden retriever, one or the other, but probably a chocolate lab. Do you salt your leftover live minnows after done fishing? If so, any tips? I don't, but that would be a good idea. That puppy better be named Donkey, right? Oh, I think Donkey for a puppy would be amazing. Come here, Donkey. Come on, Donk. Do your best Ric Flair impression. I can. I'm not yelling right now. I'm not, Evan. I'm not. Another time, Evan. That's no good. We can't do that. I'm not doing Ric Flair impression. I'll do it in a video one day. How about that? I'll do it for a video. I'll say this guy gave me a super chat on a live chat one day, and he said he wanted to see my best Ric Flair impression. I need to watch a few videos of his first, and then I'll do it. That was awesome. Cheers to you, Evan. Come on, it was $10. Hey, that's never been part of the deal. You know, just the deal with the super chats has always been a shot of booze. All these guys, do your best Jay Siemens impression. Okay, here's my best Jay Siemens impression. Jay, I love you. Oh, I got it. It's a big one. Look at this nice 17-inch walleye. Love you, Jay. I miss Jay. I hope everybody knows that Jay and Sam had a pretty big scare with Han in there with going to the hospital and stuff. So everything's good with them. I talked to Jay a couple of times and they're doing good. It's a big shock for sure, but make sure everybody keeps Jay and Sam in their thoughts. Ever have someone try between your shack and your tip up? Yeah, and you'll see it on the next video. I trimmed out, like, I put it on the video of like this truck driving between me and my tip up, but I actually like cropped the truck out of it just because there's no reason to put that in there, the truck. But yeah, like, shallow water walleye is so volatile. That's a good one. Do you get a lot of snow? We got quite a bit of snow. Like, we probably don't have the normal snowfall we do for this time of year in past years, but we got a pretty good dump for sure. I've had to snow blow the yard a couple times and I'll shovel a few times. So we've got a little bit. How do you like your sled? I love it. 900 Ace, been absolutely loving the sled. It's been great. I think we probably got about 6 or 7 inches, I would say. I'm thinking about. I have a Helix 5 and always glitching out and changing the screen on the Finder. What kind of problem is that? Things. I don't really know at all what you got going on. They're going to tell you just to do an update and a restore defaults, and then other than that, they'll have to send it in. But I couldn't really tell you what's going on for sure. Have you tried the Clam Predator yet? I have not. Do you like target brookies? Do you like to target brookies? I've only targeted them a couple times. I'd like to do more with brookies at some point. Have you ever fished Muskoka? I have not. What's the difference between the Garmin Panoptix Live Scope and the Live Scope Plus? Better clarity, like in terms of like the screen being more clean, crisp, and probably being able to see fish a little bit further away as well. I think the biggest thing would be between Panoptix and Live Scope Plus. There's definitely a difference for sure. Like the Panoptix Live Scope is a lot like the Humminbird Mega Live would be, and then you want to go next level, you go with like the LVS 34 or obviously the 62, which would be even better for like deeper water stuff. But did you switch from Eskimo to Otter? I did make a switch, yes. Have you ever thought about fishing the Icebreaker Elite Series in Manitoba? Yeah, I would do something like that. The biggest thing is like, so even this year when I looked at I was like, oh, this is gonna be cool. I should go down and like fish this type of thing. And then like right away, like the second tournament and maybe even the third tournament, both like were already like they didn't match up with any of my schedules. So I was like, there was no point in me going for just one. Live Scope worth it? I would say so. A Live Scope is so good for just learning more and more about the fish. Cindy's working actually too. She's She's working. I got her set up on the table over there. You can just see her. She's there working. She's doing a work at home thing right now. What happened with the Alumacraft? I sold it to the Fishing Geeks, and I got a Starcraft. Why don't you use flipovers? I do use flipovers actually, and not my next video, but my northern trip. You're going to see the flipover a couple times. I think twice for sure. I think. I like the Eskimo 2800 series. The biggest thing I found with the Otter was that just like I didn't have enough room in it for the filming. Yes, I could have went to the resort and I would have had enough room in it for the whole filming side of it. But the Eskimo Escape 2800, I could film in it plus lake trout fish. I was happy with it. I'm going to use it a lot more. I was even able to flip it up and not feel like I was going to like wreck anything and like drive around and search for more walleye. Or yeah, that day was walleye. So you're going to see it more and more. How's the new truck? Truck's been good. No complaints yet, but it's only got like 10K on it. So if you have any complaints by 10K, that's not good, right? Finally hung up my gas auger and bought an ion. Wow, that's awesome, dude. I always said there was no place for like electric augers in ice fishing, especially with a lot of stuff that I do. And now I'm like, yeah, there's no way I want to make a switch back to gas now. I'm looking to buy a new big shelter for ice camping. Which one you recommend? I would say either the XD 650 or the XD 850 from Eskimo. The 850, if you're ever going to have two people, if you're going to have just yourself, the 650 would be fine for fishing out of it, for the camping side of it. If you're going to try to film, I think the 850 is a lot easier, more room, but the 650 would be more than enough for one person for ice camping. You can do two people in there too, but then you're just like, you're always fishing down the center, which is like where you want to walk all the time, right? Like it's hard. Whereas if with the 850, two people, you can set it up, or you can have a sleeping area and a fishing area, etc. Right? You're not set up down the middle. Have you tried fishing Buffalo Pound, Saskatchewan? I have not. Bring out the catfish. I'll get Cindy to bring the catfish over for a little bit when she comes for a jello shot at some point. Do a video for your live scope settings. Yes, it's on the list for sure. Did you see Mac's disco ball video? I have not. I've seen parts, but I haven't seen the whole thing yet. Do you have any otter shelters you want to sell? I have a few for sale. I think they might all. I'm not sure if they're spoken for yet or not. I don't ever really advertise anything like that. Send me a message on Instagram. We can see if there's something possible. I might have something. Send me a message on Instagram. Did you try the otter cabin pop up? I had a Carter using it for a while, but I don't think I ever used it myself. If Clayton hires Cindy as an editor, he can fish twice as much. Yeah, you should start editing my videos.
He mentioned that. I said, let's get Clay over 100,000.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk.
Yeah. Oh, really? Money isn't more on YouTube. It's just more people. It'll be the same. Otter cabins, nice shelter for one person. Agreed. Tips for winter walleye. Honestly, the biggest tip I can give you is just to go through all of the walleye videos I put out, and in every video there's a different tip in them, right? Like me, it's not the same thing over and over. Sometimes it's repetitive, but I'll give a couple tips in one video, a couple different tips in another, et cetera, et cetera. So I went with a 2400 for my first flip over. It's an awesome tent, but I just found it much I found it as much work to set up as my Eskimo 450. Yeah, it's definitely like flipovers are just as much work to set up. The only thing is like you can like put everything in your sleigh and move around quicker, I'd say, is the biggest thing. I don't know. It's not so much necessarily when you get out there, it's if you have to move around. Like even like with mine, the 2800, it was like I was able to flip down a couple of the bars and then kind of flip it up and not have to like take the front wind poles out or anything like that. And I can make small moves. So being able to make smaller moves is much easier in the flip over compared to a hub, I would say. That's the biggest thing. Best pike rig for open water, lake trout, or for hard water, open water, best pike rig. You have to go to a little bit more detail for what you mean by that. How cold are you, Clayton? Fahrenheit, not that goofy Celsius stuff. Good question.
Minus 28.44 wind chill.
No, but what's that in Fahrenheit though? So right now it says it's minus 29. And I could just click Google and go, what's minus 29 in Celsius or in Fahrenheit? But where's my settings thing here? It's just going to take too long to find that. Okay, what is minus 29 Celsius in Fahrenheit? It is minus 20.2. It's minus 20. How about that? It's minus 20 today. Yeah.
The wind chill.
It's minus 37 oil country. Yes, they equal out at, no, they equal out at minus 40, I thought. Not, is it 32? I think it's minus 40 they equal out. They go the same. 32 and 0 is like, yeah, that's minus 40, I think. Best tip for winter walleye. Oh man, honestly, like the biggest thing is just watch my videos from all of like all of the videos that I film. That's the best tips I can give you. Like honestly, I'm not going to give you enough tips right now, right? Like the biggest tip for winter walleye is to fish where the walleye are. Any tips for last mountain walleye? Patience. Be super patient more than anything. It's like you have to be so patient with last mountain walleye. Sometimes you go days without catching anything. Appreciate everything you do. Please keep what you're doing. What you can. It's so cool that you keep your home life first. Don't get lost in the sauce. 100%. Never going to change. This is what it is. CSO is all about just at home right here. That's it. Do you shovel the snow on the floor of the shack? No, I used to, but now I don't. Or I'd rather set up now, especially winter camping. It's better to set up your mats over top of the snow. I used to do the whole shovel the whole thing out and like you end up with this big puddle of water. Yeah, it's great for some visual aspects of it, but if the ice isn't super clear, it's not going to matter anyway. So I just put the mats on top of the snow. It's better insulated that way. What Garmin screen do you run? Looking to get one family friendly live scope. I have an GPS 8612. Thoughts on the recent bear trauma videos? I did finally get to watch all those videos, Jeff. I think there's a lot of good points in all the videos. I think the biggest thing is with Aaron's video, there's going to be people that are going to mistake that it's okay to fish in deeper water when even though that's not what he was like saying at all, he was just trying to prove some different studies wrong. That there's going to be people that aren't going to see the whole picture and be like, okay, well, it's 37 feet. Everything's safe. All these fish release fine as long as I do this. We don't know the whole side effects of it. I think that's the biggest thing my input I have from that. It's like, just because he did that and those fish released okay, we don't know any of the after effects of them either of what it did. And that relates to crappie, not walleye or anything like that as well. So the biggest thing I watched a podcast that he did a couple days after or a week after, whatever, and he just like talked about like the biggest thing is like handling and getting the fish back as soon as possible, which is huge. And that's the biggest thing is there's going to be people that are too short-minded to see past what Aaron was actually talking about. That's the only thing that scares me with that. Is like that people are so quick to jump to conclusions and decisions and be like, well, Aaron said this. Well, no, that's not really what he was thinking. If you know how Aaron's mind operates like I do, when he makes a video, he's thinking that you already know what's going on through his head. So even though he's saying you shouldn't, he's showing us that the fish are releasing in 37 feet of water, he's already assuming that everybody knows that that's not the proper thing to do. Right. So I think that's the only thing is like there's gonna be some people that aren't gonna see the whole picture of it, in my opinion, about it. I get what he was trying to put across and everything like that. And there's some really good messages in there and the whole challenging their study, which is what you should do, because that study was not good in my mind at all. Like you put all these floating fish in this little cylinder basket net or whatever it is, and there's like all these fish that are on the surface soaking up all of that oxygen in that area too. And well, of course all those fish are going to die, right? Like, so there's the study was very, very flawed. I just don't want people to get the wrong takeaway from that now they're like, oh well, Aaron was fishing in 37 feet, so that's okay. So that's the only thing is there's going to be people that aren't going to understand. The smart people will understand, but yeah. If that makes sense. I'm sure there's people going to disagree with me, right? I'm not getting into it. I think fishing in deep water for any species is not right at all. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. He even says it's not okay. Yeah, see there, exactly. He says it, but there's people that are only watching and not listening, if that makes sense, right? It's the people that get it are going to totally get it and it's going to be fine, but there's going to be people that are going to say, oh well, I saw Aaron fishing 37 feet, it's obviously fine. It's right, it's that whole aspect is like we, yeah, it's, yeah. Cheers. Whoa, full shot, there we go. There's a full shot. Somebody said a full shot, a full 2 ounce shot right there. Oh, butterscotch. How do I join your members club? There should be a join button, um, but beside the subscribe button somewhere. And basically, the member thing is just like some private live chats, some giveaways and stuff like that for different baits and lures, and early access to videos that I put out for everybody. There was one comment on the thing where it's like, "Oh, I see you have a members thing only. I'm not watching your videos anymore." It's just like I'm not. That's just like something completely different. So I have some gas money or new camera money, anything like that it goes to, and it's not much money either. But nothing changes. It's not like I give the members, like something that the other members don't get. I do both live chats, right? I do an hour-long live chat, and then I do a half an hour members-only chat. So people that aren't members, so don't feel like you have to ever join that. So you're going to get something more, but still some room in the glass. Oh, shush, Chikai. I think his goal to prove that it can be done, that it should not, that it, that not should, it should be. No, that wasn't even his goal. His goal his goal of his video was to show that that the other video was not accurate. His goal wasn't to show people that they can fish in 37 feet and they're going to fish are going to be okay. That wasn't the goal at all. See, you're not seeing the point at all with that. That wasn't his goal. His goal was to dissect the whole study and be like, you're missing information. That's, yeah. Do burbot get affected from fishing in deep water? Yes. Every burbot though seems to be different. I've had burbot catch them like lake trout fishing, and they release just fine, right? There's no air bladder or anything. Actually, I'm gonna have a video coming up in the next couple. I caught a walleye when I was lake trout fishing, out of 70 feet of water, right on the bottom. So now I'm fishing in Manitoba, and I have a fish that's like 22, 23 inches long, which is illegal to keep because it's out of the size restriction. And I'm like, what do I do with this? I caught it, I showed it off, I put it the hole right away, and it was like it just sat there. I'm like, it didn't show any signs of barotrauma. Its eyes were fine, which bad barotrauma issues, the eyes will pop. Their stomach will come out of their mouth, their air bladder, sorry, not their stomach. Their air bladder will come out of their mouth. There was no air bladder, there was no eye popping. The stomach was tight though, for sure. I just kept it by the hole for a while, and I'm like, okay, well, if this fish doesn't want to kick away, I'm keeping it, right? Even though I obviously wasn't allowed to because it was too big. But it's like, what do? I'm targeting lake trout, not walleye. All of a sudden, the fish just kicked off, and I followed on my live scope, and I lost sight of it when it hit 55 feet. So it got down to its depth where it was going to be fine. But I also ran that risk of it kicking out 20, 30 feet and then watching it float up in the live scope, right? Like, yeah, that's a real deep walleye. It wasn't targeting them right. And I'm like, man, should I put that in the video? Should I not put that in the video? And it is going to go into the video. And even if it wouldn't have kicked away, I probably would have put it in there anyway. It does happen sometimes when you're lake trout fishing. And if I'd been catching a pile walleye, so I'd move spots. But I caught one, and that was it. So have to be on a desktop, laptop, become a member. I believe that's true. Best pike rig. Taking my young lad out tomorrow with wild caught 4-inch minnows, fishing a reservoir, finding on a side bay off structure in 8 feet. I would take those 4-inch minnows with wild caught 4-inch minnows, and I would take a treble hook. Like with the 4-inch minnow, I would take a number 4 or a number 6 treble hook, and I'd put it that minnow. I'd hook that back behind its fin. I'd put a little split shot up above that treble hook, about 18 inches, and I would set it down, like probably if you're fishing 8 feet, I'd set it at 6 feet down, 2 feet above the bottom for sure. And that would be probably one of your best bets for catching a pike. And if possible, I'd use heavier fluoro for sure. If you don't have big pike, you can get away with like 14-pound fluoro, 20-pound fluoro. But if you have bigger pike, I would try to use like a 20-pound steel lead or something like that instead. I became a member on my phone. See, there's a way to do it on your phone. I just don't know how to do it. Sometimes I've had luck with releasing a fish too lightly, hold it by the tail, and rock it back and forth in the hole. I don't like to rock them back and forth. I just love to hold it down in the hole and like just keep it in there, right? More than anything. Oilers are an OT. They're on a huge winning streak. Somebody keep me updated on that one. I have to have a shot for the pike rig. We're going through this bottle of butterscotch pretty quick. Dennis, send more butterscotch. Cheers. Cool. Best burger in Manitoba. I don't know. Honestly, don't know. You rock, Clay. Thank you. I hope that helps a little bit. I want rock bass. Oh, I'd like to go do some rock bass. That's a good idea. Another shot. Wow, my wife said, another shot. You gotta have a shot too. And I'm good yet. All these shots, I'm perfectly fine. 100%. Went to LOP and caught 5 rock bass, surprisingly. Through the ice or open water. There's good rock bass fishing. Let's get some Oilers after dark. Sturgeon video through the ice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing something like that at some point. Sturgeon through the ice is fun. I've only really actually went after sturgeon through the ice, I think, once or twice now. I'd love to actually go and target them again. Do you ever fish Alberta, Ontario? I've never fished Alberta besides the Bow River. Ontario, I fished a couple times with Jay and then a couple with Jay and Aaron. You should make a trip up to New York, up to Sodus Bay. What's in Sodus Bay? Well, bye, Clayton. Outdoors. Sorry, bye. If you asked the question earlier and I didn't hit it, I apologize. But hope you have a good night. Evan says, "Woo!" Ric Flair. Oh boy, I could. You got to scream loud. The thing is, I want to do a Ric Flair impression. I want to like really give it, right? Like it wouldn't be good. Deepest you'll fish for walleye, 30, 31 feet. That's like the. And then if I'm, yes, I'll have a shot for you, Evan. 1 sec. No, $2 is like a shot of like right here, vodka 7-Up. That's what you get for $2, Evan. Come on. A good one though. Deepest I'll fish for walleye, 30, 31 feet. But I'm also keeping an eye on the fish. Like if I'm fishing 30, 31 feet and the fish are suffering from barotrauma, I'm moving shallower. But I've had fish suffer from barotrauma in 20, 25 feet of water before, right? Because they're coming up from that deeper water. But if they've been in 30, 31 feet for a while or shallower and they're coming down to you, you're going to be fine. It's those fish that are just coming out of like 50, 60 feet, those ones that you have to worry about where they've just come up out of the deep water where they're starting to feed. The fish that have been stabilizing for a while in those 30-foot depths, they're going to be fine. But it's the walleye that are coming up from that deeper stuff. Same thing, like if you're in 25 feet, those walleye come out of 50 feet, you catch them in 25 feet, they're going to suffer from barotrauma. It's all about how the walleye stabilize more than anything. And even then, it's like getting them, like Aaron said in his videos, like getting them back in the water. It's like more important than anything. Like, and if you watch my videos, it's literally out of the hole, short off the camera, and back in. I do not like the whole when people want to do a video and a picture and all that stuff, right? It's like one or the other. It's literally like one or the other. The whole video thing where you're filming, buddy's filming you, and you catch this walleye, and you like it's on video, and you bring it up like, yeah, it's amazing, got this walleye. Oh, and it's like, oh, let's put it back. No, let's do a photo first. It's one or the other. Be ready to take that photo or have it on video. Honestly, I hate to say it, but the video aspects of it is so much better than the picture side of it because I'm never worrying about capturing like the perfect shot or anything like that. Photos are bad for people are bad for taking a photo, putting it back in the hole, holding it for a minute. Well, how's the photo? Let's check it. Is it any good? No, you know what? I don't look good there. Do another one there. Oh man, you could have pushed the tail a little bit more. getting the perfect photo is probably harder on the fish than anything else. That's why I like the video side of it. It's like the camera's already rolling. You pull it out, you show it off. Sometimes you measure it. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes and then it's back in. So yeah, we got some shots to do. Evan, Cindy does a woo. The nature boy. I've been drinking. I can tell you've been drinking, Evan. We'll have some drinks with you here too. And we got Blake too at $10. We're gonna do a full drink here. Clayton, I found some root beer whiskey. I gotta get to you. Also shots. Yeah, you better do some Jello shots. You have to do some Jello shots. I have what do I have? The root beer, the hard root beer, or whatever it is. That's pretty good. But man, good old A&W root beer after a 30-inch walleye. I got a video coming out to everybody tomorrow, and it may or may not catch a big walleye in it again. Finally, cheers to you guys right there. There's Cindy. She's working. Look at your glasses. Look how smart you look.
I know, right?
Was there all for you? Do them up.
Oh, all four?
Yeah, all four.
No problem.
All four. Root beer whiskey. Don't you get drunk from that? No, actually, I have a pretty good tolerance with this, don't I? Sometimes. Oh, Kevin says keep the shots going. Kevin, this butterscotch actually gets better as you drink it. Not to bring everyone down, but just a reminder to be safe. Temps drop. 80-year-old guide on Mille Lacs. A guide fell through and died making roads. Oh, dude. Oh, not good. Not good. Not good.
I know. I can cheer everyone up.
That's not good. But my thoughts are with his family for sure. Kevin, there's a shot to you. Brandon, the spot was good. Cheers. Oh boy. Wasn't he on his box last time too? Yeah. Oh, he's tired. Yeah.
No, Clayton's so noisy.
Yeah, there's Tigger. Here's Tigger. I still think we need to take him fishing. Tigger, look at him. He's camera shy. You have to turn him. Welcome to the new members. Member only chat after this. I heard he was driving his truck. Is that right? Probably if he was making roads. More than likely. Man, this year is like biggest burbot. Nothing too big, like 10 pounds, 11 pounds, maybe, I think. The biggest. It may or may not. I haven't cleared it by Cindy yet, but I have a chance to go out and fish with Sean Conrad for some big burbots in March. But that mean I'd be gone for like 3 weekends in a row. So we'll have to see what she says about that. But I don't know. I might go chase some big burbot with Sean, do a winter camping trip. Go chase a 20-pounder. That's that, yeah. So I think a holiday in April.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, I got you. I got her. Ever caught a muskie? I have caught muskie. I have. I've caught the biggest muskie I've caught is 47.5 inches. I can't remember if it's 47 or 47.5. Either way, it's a 47-inch muskie. And all I have for a photo from it is like a photo of the photo on the computer screen. It was a video that I filmed with Aaron and Jay, and the footage got deleted or whatever. And yeah, I had a photo of the computer screen, and that's it. So I'm going to go do a trip at Jay's cabin probably this fall, a do-it-yourself muskie trip where I just go on an adventure for 3-4 days. And yeah, Aquaview Downview Giant Lakers video. I would like to do something like that, but I need somebody with me to pull the camera up. Drop Cindy off in Moose Jaw on your way for the weekend. That's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea. Just drop her off for a week. That'd be perfect. That'd be perfect. I watched that video with Aaron. That was a tank. No, you couldn't have seen that video there. The footage was never, ever put out unless you like saw like footage like that he never put out and he sent you. But that video was never released. Hey, Clayton, heading to Baker's Narrows Lodge in 2 weeks. You got any tips? What should I be doing? I would say bring some smaller tube jigs than what I use a lot of times, like bring some 4 or 5 inch tube jigs. and then bring some Cisco's for dead baits, or you can get some from them as well. Bring a finicky fooler, you really use your two lines. It's important, I think, at Baker's to use your two lines. You one on the shack and the one outside, anything like that. So, is he eating that cat? No, but I'll delete you. I don't know. The best winter walleye rod, I'd say probably the True Grit, still one of my favorites from Frostbite, the 38 medium. Did you see Mac's huge Laker that barely fits through the hole? I did. That was a big Laker. It's a big Laker. I had a few cocktails. You would be correct. Yeah. That's awesome. Trying to find early ice walleye, tips for finding them. Shallow, usually early ice is good shallow. Like in like shallow bays, like 6 to 10 feet of water. Whereas maybe some creeks or anything like that, try to figure out where the Cisco's and the whitefish are spawning. And a lot of times those walleye will relate to those spawning Cisco's and whitefish. Still waiting on some ice here in SWO. Well, hopefully Southwestern Ontario. It took me a minute to figure out that. Wake up that cat. I know you won't eat it. The cat doesn't want to be awake because he doesn't like you. I don't know. Popcorn dinner bell. Hey Clayton, I pour my own soft plastics and was wondering if there are any specific bait profiles you like using for Lakers. I've been considering getting into tube mold or two. Tube jigs and paddle tails, I think, are the biggest things for sure. How do you hide the butterscotch from the COs? I don't drink when I fish at all on the ice. I'm hard no with the drinking on the ice. I've no problem with the people that do, as long as it's responsible in terms of not driving home, having a sober driver, anything like that. I have no problem with that, and obviously not causing trouble or vandalism or anything like that. Right? I have no problem with people that want to do that. Just keep in mind that it is illegal in Canada, so hide it from the COs. But I don't drink on the ice at all. Most of the time I'm working, right? So yeah, I take that serious for sure. When I'm out there to fish, I'm out there to fish, and I'm out there to work and film videos. I'm not out there to drink. The people that are not filming videos, they're going out to have a few beverages and have some fun on the ice. I'm all for it. Just please be safe. Don't drive home, and just be safe. That's all I can ask. That's the biggest thing. New drinking game. Take a shot every time catches a 35 plus inch Laker. We'll all be hammered. That's amazing. What would it be better for camping, multiple batteries or the DL 135 power box? The 135? Is it a 135? It is too. Probably the 135 would be fine for camping. On a winter camping trip, I never went through my 135 amp hour battery, my box the whole time. No, I didn't run lights off of it. I only use it to charge batteries and bring like batteries back to life, GoPros, my phone, main camera batteries, etc. But the 135 would be probably pretty good. We'll just delete that guy completely, Dason. We'll just remove him. Yeah, we'll just remove him. I think we'll just ban that SJ guy. Next time he makes a comment like that, Dason, or you can even now, if you can go on him and ban him somehow, just ban him from the channel. Perfectly fine. Thank you, though. Thank you for all the mods that manage the chat and keep up with everything and keep the riff raff out of there. I appreciate it. Drinking on the ice, just remember that you are out in nature and nature can suddenly decide to happen. That's the biggest thing, right? Is like if you're half intoxicated and you do fall through the ice or your tire breaks through or something like that, are you at like full sense to handle a situation, right? Like, or maybe you come across somebody in the ditch and you have to save their life or something, right? Like, are you capable of taking care of that situation? That's the biggest thing. It's like you just have to be so careful. Like I said, I got no problem people that want to drink in the ice. Like the best thing is now with the overnighting, the Yetis and stuff like that. Like yeah, go rent a Yeti for 24 hours. Go have some drinks. Go fish, and have a good time. Next morning you drive home sober. Mr. Leahy did everything hammered and it worked out for him. Or did it work out for him? Isn't there one person in the Trailer Park Boys that doesn't exist anymore? Just saying, everything didn't work out for him after all. Good tiger trout bait. Small little tube jigs and hair jigs, I think, are probably my favorite. I don't drink while camping. Nothing wrong with that at all. Gotta get going now. Have fun, dude. Well, have fun and good luck to you, Will. Hey, man, 100K is huge. Enjoy the moment. Have a good night. Cheers. Thank you, Paul. 100K is getting close. We'll have a live counter. I'll do it. I'm gonna plan to do a a live chat when we're getting close to 100K. I think is what the plan is going to be. I believe for sure is to have like in the moment of everything happening. Hopefully, it doesn't happen at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we'll do it if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Do you ever fish Rafferty? I have never fished Rafferty, but I know Angler's Edge Mapping is doing a map from there, so it's going to make me want to go there and fish. I've even considered doing that tournament down there at some point as well. I'd like to go fish Rafferty. I would. Hey Clayton, heading to Upper Red Lake for my birthday Monday. Got any tips for walleye and pike? Excuse me, sorry, too many drinks. I know nothing about Red Lake, literally. I think the biggest thing I could say is get outside of the crowds that are there. I think would make sense for like Lake Winnipeg too. Like, don't go fish in the middle of all of the crowds. Get away from the crowds a little bit. Pro Crush Angling, Adam, what up, CSO? What up, my friend? You just got here for the end of the live chat. Pro Crush Angling is my boy Adam, Mr. 30, right there. Mr. 30, Adam Crawford. Pounds, big walleyes. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up. It's been an hour and 1 minute. And I'm going to do a members only chat here for a little bit. Notice we have a bunch of new members in here. I'll run a members only chat here for a half an hour. I got a bunch of giveaways to do here in the members only chat. And yeah, thank you everybody for watching all the videos. Thank you for all the support. I just saw Go Packers, so I'm going to say Go Lions tomorrow. My boy Frank Ragnow, they're playing tomorrow against LA Chargers. And yeah, Go Lions. I'll be cheering on my boy Frankie tomorrow. I'm gonna get Frank for some videos here in the future. Frank is a center for the Detroit Lions. So anyways, cheers to everybody. Take care, and you guys are the best. Cheers.